to feel that pressure, but I don't ever fall. Keep on rising like a diamond in the rough. In the rough, diamond in the rough. In the rough.
Welcome back to the Hip Hop Scholar Podcast. I am Melanie, the Hip Hop Scholar. So thrilled to have you with me again today. This is going to be a little different than our norm when it comes to our episodes for our podcast. This is a place where we don't just analyze lyrics. We hold space for culture, community, and communal collective healing. Today's episode is going to hit a bit different. We're not dissecting bars or breaking down regional flows today. We're actually going to do something together. Okay, we're going to do a community project where we're going to build a soundtrack sanctuary. Because right now, the world feels a bit wild. From headlines of war and political chaos to just personal exhaustion. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. I don't have the answers. I probably have more questions than answers right along with you. We're pacing. I'm right there with you. So this episode is called Soundtrack for the Storm. It's not a sermon. It's not a soapbox. It's a playlist. One rooted in hip hop, wrapped in soul, and wide enough to hold a little rock, a little jazz, and a whole lot of faith. Because whatever tomorrow brings, we are going to be there. And music will meet us, and faith will keep us whole. Now, keep in mind, this is not a comprehensive playlist, okay? This is just a start to something beautiful that I want to create with you, my dear listeners. What I would like to do, I'm going to share some music, and then in the comment sections, I want you to share your music as well. I don't own the rights to the music, which is why I'm not going to be able to share the music. I'll just be able to share the image credit from that actual artist and the song, and just a bit of personal renditions of mine of how it helped me to navigate through the storm as well. Because many different storms will come through your life. And as my grandmother and aunties will always say, you keep living and you'll definitely be able to see the sun shine after that storm finishes. So without further ado, let's talk about this first song for our playlist. And again, our playlist, our soundtrack for the storm. This comes from Incubus, the song Drive. Okay, let's start here. The chorus for this song, whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. That's more than just a lyric. It's a mantra. Drive by Incubus is about releasing fear and choosing to be present in the moment. A reminder to your instincts in a world that's full of noise. I remember listening to Drive when I was actually giving birth to my oldest son in 2003. And I had it burned on a CD, and I had it written on there, Incubus Drive. And the nurse in the room with me when I was giving birth, she saw that I was listening to it, and she for sure said, you know, that's really dope that you're listening to that song in this moment, because first time mom giving birth, and the unexpected was in front of me, and it was this song Drive that kept me and pushes me for not only my oldest son, whom I love very dearly, but for all of my sons, and for all of the people that I service as a mentor, as a friend, as a relative, as a member of our global society. You know, you want to drive through, be present, and whatever tomorrow brings, be there with open arms and open eyes indeed. So this song, Incubus, if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to listen to it on the playlist. If you have listened to it, make comments. When did you press play for Drive? Whether you were driving or sitting or just in a moment, what did this song do for you during your storm? So I wanted to start there. So shout out to Incubus with their song Drive and the many songs that they have to share for this storm that we are having. Okay. So next up, we have Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, and I think this was like a super dope picture to have. I want you to be able to see him in the full essence of this art piece. So I have actually two songs that go along for Kendrick Lamar. The first one I think is very timely, is All Right. We gonna be all right. Yeah, and that's how we pivot to the poetry of survival. Kendrick's All Right isn't just a protest, it's an anthem and a spiritual shield. A lyric, wouldn't you know, we've been hurt, been down before, and yet we rise. And I say this to everyone, every culture, every person. We still will rise because everything is going to be all right. This one's for everyone needing hope louder than despair. You know, times will tell. You know, when they say that, you know, the tough lasts, tough people don't run away, they keep going, and that's where you find that grit. That's where you find that in these moments here. So songs like All Right by Kendrick Lamar allows for you to really build that momentum and using this as a mantra to keep going. A song that brings about such great feelings of being able to overcome is the Mother I Sober. This is Kendrick Lamar featuring Beth Gibbons. Now, this track is not just a song. It's more than a song. It's a reckoning. Because in this song, Kendrick faces a very raw and reflective essence of who he was. It's a confessional about generational trauma, silence, and a long path toward healing. And then with Beth Gibbons' haunting vocals and Kendrick's vulnerability, it gives language to pain that many of us have carried quietly. Play this one when you're ready to confront the wounds and honor the strength it takes to break the cycle. And even in the fear and the chaos of the unknowns, you know, even in this moment is where you hold true to your instincts and to who you are and to step out on that faith, a capital F when it comes to that as well. So adding some Afro-European, and I want to transition from Mr. Lamar, thanking him for all that he does, what he brings to the culture and his music, bringing in that strength, that essence of strength to break the cycle, to not even start on that downtrodden cycle. We also have Les Nubians. Okay, this is Afro-European soul. Makita by Les Nubians is a tribute to Black womanhood, royalty, and resilience. And this is resilience for all. This is sung in French. So in our playlist, you know, we want music from all over the world. And so this is one example of that. You know, these lyrics are all in French, so Francais. It celebrates the Queen of Sheba as a symbol of power and beauty. Even if you don't speak the language, you'll feel the affirmation in every note. It's smooth, poetic, and timeless. Perfect for reminding yourself of your worth and your roots, no matter where you're from, but just that reminder of the beauty in your strength and where you have come from and your ancestors before. To translate some of what was shared in their chorus to the song, Makita was a queen, beautiful and powerful. Solomon dreamed of her Black skin. I sing to revive memories, to exhume the knowledge that the spiral of time erases. The Queen of Sheba lives in me. Makita lives in me. So to exhume that knowledge, to sing, to revive memories. And in this time frame as well, you know, in this present that we're in, being present, but holding on to those blessed memories of happiness that you've had, or even those challenges that you faced and overcame. This is that song. This is that music that allows for you to continue into that tenure for yourself. So thank you to Les Nubians for all that they've done. I mean, a lot of music comes from a lot of these artists, and this is just the start of the playlist. Maybe there's another song, not just Makita, that Les Nubians is part of your playlist that you played before. Maybe you've never heard of them, and I welcome you to be introduced to this duo. All right, so the next group, a very familiar favorite we have, Outkast. And with their song Liberation, this is featuring CeeLo Green. You also have Erykah Badu, and then it also has a poet at the very end of that is exactly what the title says, Liberation. This one is a very deep cut. It's therapy in a track. A meditation on freedom, not just from systems, but from shame, from silence, and even fear. Put this on when your spirit needs some room to exhale. There is a lyric in there where it states, I'm so tired, it's been so long, struggling, hopelessly, 40 days. Yeah. I sacrifice every breath I breathe, make you believe I give my life away. I'm so tired, my feet feel like I walk most of the road on my own. Yeah. all on my own. We alive, but we ain't living. That's why I'm giving up to it's gone. And I'm not going to sing the whole thing. I do not own the rights. But when I tell you that liberation liberates the soul, it has you to remind you of your strength, of the core of what makes you who you are, and bringing in that identity. I mean, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, and honoring that of self. That even in times like this, when, some things just don't make sense, you can still make sense of where you've come from and where you're going, despite it all. This is a very liberating track. Erykah Badu brings in such wonderful vocals, and in that poetry at the very end, it just ties in very beautifully. And this is a very lengthy track, about 8 minutes in length. And I encourage you to really listen to this particular Outkast song, and really all the songs. And like I shared in a prior podcast, Outkast just has so many different vibes and so many different styles that you can't just keep it pigeonholed into one genre. And I opened this playlist, this soundtrack to our storm, to open up to all different types of music and to bring about all different types of vibes. If there's some lyrics even from your music or some instrumentation that you want to share, that is what this is for. This is, again, for us. And so thank you to Outkast and to all of our artists that we're just starting to look at. And again, this is not a comprehensive playlist. This is just the beginning of our soundtrack sanctuary. All right. So the next song that I have comes from the world-renowned Tupac Shakur. Yeah. The song, Keep Your Head Up. We couldn't make this list without Tupac. This song is still a balm for women, for communities, for the culture. It's reminder and resistance, grace and grit to keep your head up no matter what, no matter how hard, things, events, even people, that try to push you down. Keeping your head up is such a very strong song that if you've never heard of Tupac or whatever the news or people have shared about Tupac, this is one of the songs that made him who he is, to face the resilience head on, and to let it know that you're not going to win. You're not going to beat me. No matter how many points you think you earned, at the end of this game, I will stand as the winner. And this track, Keep Your Head Up by Tupac, absolutely encompasses that. And I encourage you, dear listener, to listen to this and add it to your soundtrack as well. So shout out to Tupac and his estate and all that he stood for, especially during these times. It's a reminder, again, of the grace and grit that we all have, especially during times like this. So this next song has no words. There are no words to this. This is Acknowledgement, Part 1 by John Coltrane from A Love Supreme. Coltrane's Acknowledgement, it's a prayer in motion. A love supreme indeed. This was back in 1965 with UMG recordings. It's one of the most spiritually resonant recordings in modern music. There are no lyrics, but the horn speaks a language of gratitude, searching, and transcendence. In times when words fall short, Coltrane reminds us that sound alone can carry the soul. Put this on when you need to sit still, just breathe deep, and remember the sacred within the storm. To take that time to just let the words find you. That's what jazz absolutely does. Jazz allows for the words to find itself, to rise to that, and it's specific to each listener. So with this particular song, and really all jazz music, take the time to breathe in and breathe out and be transformed when it comes to this type of music for our soundtrack. So thankful for John Coltrane's jazz, the Acknowledgement with from A Love Supreme, and this is only part 1. So hopefully this can be added to the playlist along with some other songs as well. All right, so a few more songs to share with our soundtrack for the storm. We have former Mos Def, now Yasin Bey, and his song Umi Says. It is a meditation and a mission. When Yasin Bey says, I want my people to be free, to be free, to be free, it hits different, especially when the world feels locked in fear and uncertainty. It's a very quiet anthem with a warm groove that goes along with it. It's rooted in love and even liberation. Listen to this when you need to remember who you're doing the healing for. So your umi, that can be your sage, that could be your guide, that could be, an ancestor. They want you to shine your light on the world, to shine what's bright in you, not what society says is good from you, but what you feel, and then to be free and liberated to do so. And even in these times, we need the best of everyone, the best of ourselves, and being able to sit in that is vitally important and essential in times such as these. So thankful to Yasin Bey for his past, his present, and future, and how these songs really help us to reflect and remind us that it's going to be all right. Definitely be all right. So last and absolutely not least, Nina Simone, Everything Must Change. Our final track with a classic that holds timeless weight. Miss Nina Simone's Everything Must Change speaks softly but powerfully in the inevitability of transition. Her voice carries the kind of wisdom that doesn't just witness change, it embraces it. This track reminds us that growth, grief, and grace are all parts of the journey. Let it wash over you and remind you of that, dear listeners, my hip hop family. Nothing stays the same, but you can stay rooted in who you are and who you are meant to be. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. And those are those haunting lyrics that are in this song by Nina Simone. That is, I think, a perfect final track for the beginning of this playlist. So again, thankful to all of the artists that has started our soundtrack for the storm. But again, this playlist is not the answer. It's just a soft place for us to all land. A soundtrack for your storm, for my storm, for our storm. So please, here at the Hip Hop Scholar Podcast, we want for you to keep your faith, keep your headphones charged, and remember, we don't just survive, we soundtrack the struggle. And I want to hear from you. What's been getting you through lately? Drop a song in the comments, something that lifts you, grounds you, or just helps you breathe. Let's build this playlist together, one track at a time. All right. And with that, I wanted to make certain I put that out there for us all. I am Melanie, the Hip Hop Scholar for the Hip Hop Scholar Podcast, and I will see you next time. It is always an honor to serve.